Good evening. Welcome to Charles F. Brush High School. My name is Carl Williamson. I'm the building principal. With us this evening is ninth grade counselor, Miss Bridget Johnson. We're going to show a presentation to you this evening to welcome you to the high school. It's a little different from the junior high, from what we do at the high school on a typical basis, but we just wanted to give you an insight on what it's like to be an ARC at the high school. At the end of the presentation, we'll allow you opportunity to ask us questions, and you'll probably see both our faces because right now you'll only see the presentation that I have on my computer screen. I want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy day and evening to spend a few moments with us. We are excited to see the class of 2025. The years just keep clicking by, and before you know it, we'll be getting ready for commencement with the class of 2025. So with that said, welcome. We're looking forward to meeting you and your students, and we're excited to see everyone return to the buildings. I'm going to share a video with you folks. We're having a little bit of a technical glitch. Well, we had a hype video that we wanted to share with you, but for some reason it's not uploading. So I'll make sure to include that in the presentation. It'll be available to you online. We'll make sure that Mr. Bryan at the junior high will email you parents and students this presentation, which will also include that video. Like I said, my name is Mr. Williamson. I'm the building principal. Ms. Johnson's the ninth grade counselor. At the high school, there are 3 assistants. Mr. Ron Johnson, he's the associate head principal. He's with the 12th grade. 11th grade is Dr. Lorraine Fuller, and then 10th grade is Mr. Curtis Jackson. For 9th grade students, we split them up by alphabet, so they have each administrator if their letters A through K, and then the rest of the alphabet is divided up as well. At the high school, in a typical school year, when we're not in a pandemic, there's a traditional schedule where there's 8 50-minute class periods. So students in the 9th grade will typically have 1 lunch period, and then they'll have all academic classes where they'll have their basic courses such as English, math, science, social studies, a couple of electives, perhaps a study hall. This year, due to the pandemic, we instituted a modified block schedule, and we call that a brown gold schedule. So 2 days a week are a brown day, 2 days a week are a gold day. Brown days are periods 1, 2, 5, 6. Gold days are periods 3, 4, 7, 8. And those classes are 75 minutes in length. We are not sure, depending on how the pandemic rolls out between now and the start of next school year, what the specific schedule will look like. But at the very least, we'll be scheduling students for periods 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whether they have a block or whether they have the traditional schedule will depend on where we are with the pandemic. This is the map of the high school. The high school is going to be a little different. If you are familiar with it or you had older students go through the building, we just recently completed a renovation project. We're pleased to announce a new Wi-Fi cafe for students to have access to before school, during school, after school. You can go in, access the Wi-Fi capabilities to complete homework, do projects, work on something on their computers or their devices, maybe buy a snack. Maybe they can also do a little thing, purchasing of ARC Spiritware. We also have a brand new state-of-the-art media center, new library. We have an innovation lab full of great new STEM items. We have a print farm, 3D print farm. We have screen cutters, vinyl cutters, great things that we're excited to show our students. And we know that the incoming ninth graders with the class of 2025 will be excited to have this available to them as well. Life as a ninth grader is unique, especially when you're transitioning from the junior high to the high school. You're going to go and have an English class, a math class, a social studies class, and a science class. Our classes in core subject areas are worth 1 full credit. Art and tech electives can be anywhere from 1/2 credit to a full credit, depending on what it is. We have music and world languages worth 1 credit. The various music classes that we offer are unique. We have orchestra, we have instrumental music, and we also have chorale. World language includes Spanish, American Sign Language, and French. For our art classes, photography, digital photography, graphic design, painting, drawing, ceramics are all options for folks to take when they come up to the high school. We have other electives worth a minimum of 1/2 credit. And then there's a lunch/academic lab, where academic lab is opposite of lunch. And we'll talk about that if it's scheduled for next school year. And again, it all depends upon where we are with the pandemic. As an incoming ninth grade student at Brush High School, you will have the opportunity to earn 7 credits. That's important because you'll need 20 credits to graduate. You'll need 4.5 to be considered a 10th grader at the end of your first year of high school. So what's new at the high school? Every class counts for credit each semester. We must earn credits which count towards your graduation. 20 credits must be earned for your graduation for the class of 2025. Final exams occur each semester. This year, our semester exams occurred in January because we started later, but they typically end up in December. And typically, we complete the school year in May with final exams as well. This year's a little different. We'll be doing exams in June. Chromebooks are provided for use, so students will have access to their Chromebooks 24/7, 52 weeks out of the year, so they'll have them at all times. We've already addressed, for you to be a sophomore at the end of your ninth grade year, you must have at least 4.5 credits, of which you'll have an opportunity to earn 7 in a typical school year. One of the things that students and parents coming to the high school for the first time need to know, credits are what we work off of, and it's Carnegie Credit Union. And it's basically quarter plus final exam equals semester grade. So students will receive a quarter 1 grade, a quarter 2 grade, a final exam grade, and then an overall semester 1 and semester 2 grade. So report cards are a little bit different. They're a little bit more lengthier, and they include a little bit more information: class rank, overall grade point average, and total credits attempted, total credits earned. It's important that when you come to the high school, you take advantage of the courses that you are going to be taking. You need to make sure you are engaged, and you want to stay on top of things from day 1 until the completion of the school year, because like we said, credits are what we go by, and that makes everything go for you as a student at the high school. Currently, as an 8th grader at Memorial, you already have the opportunity, if you schedule for these classes, to earn high school credit. PE, you can earn 1/2 a credit. Health, you can earn 1/2 a credit. And then if you're in physical or science for high school credit, that is worth 1 full credit. If you're in Algebra 1 for high school credit, that is 1 full credit. And then there's world language, which is Spanish 1, and that too is worth 1 full credit. Our class is selected. Well, in a couple of weeks, Miss Johnson and I, we are heading down to the junior high. It's going to be on Wednesday, the 24th, and then Thursday, the 25th. We'll be meeting with students virtually as well as in person. Just to introduce ourselves. They get to see us, we get to see them, learn them a little bit, they learn us a little bit, And then we're going to talk about classes, because the process for scheduling classes can be intimidating, especially to an incoming 9th grade student. And we're going to try to make it as simple and easy as possible. So typically classes are selected by the following ways. There's teacher recommendations, in which teachers have a clear understanding of the high school syllabus and expectations, and they want to set your student up for success at the next level. We encourage students to review all selections within the course description book with their parents so that they can discuss the classes that they will be taking in the core subject areas, which include math, English, science, and social studies, as well as the electives. At the end of the day, it's all about what electives you as a 9th grader want to participate with. You're going to have a math, you're going to have an English, you're going to have a science, you're going to have a social studies. You're going to have that your 9th grade and 10th grade years guaranteed. You're even going to have it your 11th grade year. It's going to be a little different your 12th grade year, but that we'll talk about that in due time. But at the end of this, it's what opportunities can you take at the high school that is an elective class that allow you to earn some credit towards graduation requirements and or just to participate and complete that is an interest to you. So you need to have these conversations between parent and child so that you can best choose which classes to take. Then what's going to happen is hopefully there's going to be conversations and discussions taking place between the teachers at the junior high, students at the junior high, and parents. When it's all said and done, when we come down to do the forecasting, you're going to choose at least 2 to 3 electives, and then you're going to choose 3 alternate choices. How it works at the high school, we try to get every class that you ask for scheduled into your overall schedule. As 9th graders, you have very little room outside of your 4 core classes. So you might not get every one of your top choice electives. So that's why you need to have 3 alternate choices. So if you don't get into drawing, but you want painting, maybe we can get you into a painting class at the at minimal, if we can't get you into drawing. The other piece is when it comes to electives, sometimes seniors and juniors will take precedence in getting into a class because of a requirement for graduation and or a program that they may be in through Excel Tech or College Credit Plus. Thus, the only time they're available at the high school is for a particular period. And if that's the period that a specific elective is taken, we'll have to give precedence to that 12th grader over the 9th grader, and thus the 9th grader will get an alternate choice. Online forecasting this year, a lot of this is going to be done with technology. Parent signatures will be needed on the verification form. Once it's all completed online, there will be a form that is printed out. Students will have that sent home. Parents will sign it, bring it back to the high school or to the junior high so they can bring it up to the high school. Why is that important? Because every year this happens, and it doesn't matter which grade level. It usually occurs more with 11th and 12th graders and doesn't happen as regular with 9th and 10th graders. But here's the scenario. Students get their schedule, they take a look at it, they'll go to class for a couple of days, and then they'll say, hey, you know what, I don't want to be in this class. And they'll go home, they'll tell mom and dad, hey, we don't want to be in this class. It's not what I thought it was going to be. You need to get me out of it. Usually what happens, counselor brings the request to my office and we have a conversation. First question I ask is, what does the verification form say for students that are assigned to this particular class? 9 out of 10 times, the student that's sitting in the class requested that class. Thus, if I have a signed verification form, we're just not going to drop the class at the first moment of potential, well, I'm not sure I like this class. We'll try to exhaust all remedies before a class is dropped. We ask for student-teacher collaboration, interaction, and then most importantly, communication between the teacher, student, and the parent. And if, at the end of the day, if it's in the best interest to pull a kid out of a class, we will do so. However, it's very problematic because then it's potential that the student's going to go from a class that they wanted to take originally, and they might end up in a study hall, which is not the best solution because that's one less opportunity to earn a credit. Or they might be added to another class, which could potentially overload that class, which could be another issue. So it's more juniors and seniors that pose these issues than it is ninth graders and 10th graders. We always go back to that verification form, and we very rarely make changes. We're excited about the electives that we have to offer at the high school. We encourage you, students and parents, choose wisely and read the course description book. Right now, the course description book has been updated and it's been forwarded over to central office. They're taking a look at it, and they'll be going before the Board of Education sometime in the month of February. Thus, when we go down to talk to the kids on the 24th and the 25th, we'll reference the course description book, and then in March 1 through the 12th, 8th graders will start to forecast, and we'll get their tally sheets from what classes they want to choose, and we'll be able to start to begin building the master schedule. The classes that we're really excited, besides all our classes, but we are introducing a new STEM course, Introduction to STEM. We have our band, orchestra, concert choir. We have American Sign Language, Spanish, and French. We have Strength and Conditioning 1 and 2. We also have Weight Lifting 1 and 2. Just a few of the art classes here are identified: photo, ceramics, and drawing. We have Fitness for Life, Sports Science, and Personal Wellness, which takes advantage of the brand new state-of-the-art ARC Fit facility. It's been a couple years old. Kids love going in there. Teachers love going in there, and it's a great opportunity for a student to earn health PE credit. We have Writing for Success as well as Beginning Speech. And now this year, coming up with the 21-22 school year, we're going to have a brand new course called Comics and Graphic Novels, which we're excited to offer our students in grades 9 through 12. We have digital design, 3D modeling, digital Photoshop, theater 1 and improv, and then social media. We're also excited because we're offering a brand new course, Social and Justice course, that is going to be available for juniors and seniors with the start of the 21-22 school year. As a freshman, you'll be able, if you want to participate in this class, it's a social media course. We know that students of the generation of today are definitely well-versed in how to use social media, but we're going to be taking it to another level. Social media course is designed to show students properly how to communicate and effectively using the various social media platforms. We know that Twitter, YouTube, I know Facebook's not big with the kids, but it's one that we talk about, as well as some of the other ones. At the high school, we have 19 different varsity sports that you can choose to participate in. In the fall, we have a variety of sports that include tennis for our young ladies. We have cross country, we have golf, we have soccer, we have football, and then cheerleading. And we also have our cats, which participate with the marching band. In the winter, we have swimming, we have wrestling, indoor track, bowling, and basketball. And come spring, we have softball, baseball, track, tennis for young men, or if a young lady wants to participate in that because they were unable to do so in the fall, they can do that. And we're excited for those opportunities. It's important for incoming 9th grade students to pay close attention to their classes this year. As an 8th grader, you need to pass 5 classes the 4th 9 weeks to be eligible for fall sports. This does not include physical education. Okay. There are other sports. We do have hockey. I forgot to mention hockey. I apologize. At the high school, we have a number of extracurriculars that we're hoping to kick off the next school year without any issues. The pandemic has kind of put us in a pinch, but we have book, academic team, Arquettes, AVTV Club. AVTV Club is a great club to participate. You have an opportunity to work behind the camera on a football game, soccer match, work the camera at a basketball game. You get to do all the lighting and necessary mic checks for in-person events such as National Honor Society inductions, the fall play, the spring musical, and that's all taken care of inside our Performing Arts Center. We have cheerleading, academic decathlon, robotics, which has a brand new state-of-the-art facility to use, so we're excited for that space. Chess club with Mr. Jackson, debate team with Miss Jones, drama club, National Honor Society, MAC 2.0, key club with Miss Lewis, Gay Straight Alliance, environmental club with Mr. James and Mr. Marth, peer tutoring, and then the Christian Fellowship Club, and many, many more. At the end of the day, your goal is to graduate. This photo here is a perfect option for you to keep your eyes on the prize. At Brush, we focus on developing the whole student. We want to provide you with classes that will challenge you as well as prepare you for life after high school. So when you leave Brush, you're going to have a well-rounded education that will allow you to be successful in whatever endeavor you take. If you're going to go into the military, you should be prepared after leaving Brush, as well as if you go into college and or university level, or if you're going to go into the workforce. So what's life like in prepping a student at Brush for college and career? As a 9th grader, you're going to take the PSAT in October. We offer the PSAT to our 10th graders and 11th graders as well, but 9th graders, you're definitely going to take the test. In February, March, there's the College Credit Plus meeting, which is going to take place next week, February 10th for next school year, led by Ms. Myers, our senior counselor. In March, the first Wednesday of March, we are giving the SAT to the entire junior class. And this is to help apply to college's early entrance. As a high school in the state of Ohio, we're obligated to administer either the SAT or the ACT one-time free for all students in the 11th grade. At this moment, Brush is an SAT school. I will be honest and let you know that by the time your child, who is going to be in the 9th grade, becomes an 11th grader in a couple of years, they will probably be taking the ACT. But that's a decision to be made down the road, and we'll make it known to all parties so that we can prepare our students adequately for whatever exam they'll be taking. ACT, SAT tests are available outside of the mandatory tests we give juniors the first Wednesday of the month of March. ACT, SAT are college prep assessments to give you a good idea of where you stand and where you are in terms of preparedness for college and career. The PSAT gives us a guide on where to prepare you for the ACT, SAT. So we're excited for this part because this gives you, mom and dad and students, idea on where you stand with students, not only in the grade that you're in at Brush, but also compared to students throughout the country. This thing called GPA stands for grade point average. It's very important. At the start of 9th grade, if you've already had classes for high school credit at the junior high, you're coming in with a grade point average because it's high school classes. As a 9th grader, it is so important to start your school year off on the positive right foot. You want to do the best you can to get that grade point average as high as you can. It is very easy to have a slip up and cost your grade point average to the point where it will do some damage if you don't do well in your classes. It is much more difficult to raise a grade point average than it is for a grade point average to diminish. So keep that in the back of your heads, incoming 9th graders. As well as looking at college and careers and identifying potential schools you want to potentially look at after graduation. You're going to want to participate in extracurricular activities, and you're going to want to participate in volunteer and work experience during your 4 years at the high school. One, it allows you to interact and socialize with other students outside your immediate peer group, which is important. Two, As you volunteer, you're giving back to your local community, whether it's in your church, whether it's in your neighborhood, whether it's at the senior center, whatever it is you do, it's important that you give back to your community. Plus, it is a requirement for graduation at Brush High School for you to earn 10 community service hours per year you are at the high school. So as an incoming 9th grader, you're going to need a total of 40 hours by the time you are done with your 12th grade year. And the best part about this, you can start earning your volunteer hours as soon as your last day of 8th grade ends. You can start to earn those hours, submit it, and then you're done. Plus, it makes you feel better and it looks great on your resume and your transcript. And work experience is important because it provides you with the necessary skills that we call soft skills, how to apply for a job, how to interview for a job, and how to deal with the work experience, reporting to work on time, finishing your shift on time, and all that important stuff. When to call off, when not to call off, proper way of calling off, giving a 2-week notice because you're transitioning from one position to another position. Those are all valuable skills that you're going to need once you leave Brush High School. In this college versus career setting, they go hand in hand. Some students are going to go right to college right away. Others are going to dibble and dabble in the workforce and then go to school. Some are going to go into the military, participate in the military for 4 years minimally, earn that GI Bill so that they can have their education paid for. However it works, it's going to be to your best interest. So we're going to expose you as a 10th grader to what we call Excel Tech. And Excel Tech is a consortium of 11 different high schools that consist of 10 different school districts. They have various career technical educational programs, and you can earn certification and licensure in these career technical education programs that will allow you to graduate from Brush and you can be ready to work in a trade or in a field. For example, we have students participating in the welding program at Willoughby Eastlake. We have a junior who just was approved and accepted into an internship. And when it's all said and done, if he sticks with it, he's already positioning himself to be employable with some company as a welder, making a minimum of $30 an hour. As a 18, 19-year-old kid graduating from high school, getting a $30 an hour job, that equates to approximately $60,000 salary. That's pretty impressive. And the best part is this student started his programming when he was at Brush High School participating in Excel Tech at Willoughby Eastlake in the welding field. That's just one example. So as a 10th grader, you're going to have an opportunity day in December. This year was a little different because of the pandemic. Hopefully next year will be a little bit more back to normal. But students at Brush in the 10th grade get an opportunity to take a look at all the various programs that are taking place at each of the high schools in the consortium of Excel Tech. At Brush, we have our own program called Exercise Science Sports Rehabilitation. There's programs at Mayfield, there's programs at Aurora, there's programs at Chagrin Falls, programs at Willoughby Eastlake, programs at Beechwood, and on and on and on. As a 10th grader, after you see the opportunity day, you have the opportunity to apply, and then you interview in January for the top 2, maybe 3 options that you would like to take or participate in with Excel Tech. So if your first option is exercise science at Brush, and your second option is med tech at Mayfield, and let's say your third option is LPN at Willoughby Eastlake, you would interview for all 3, and then depending on how well your interview goes, they will tell you if you were accepted into your programs based on how well you did. So let's say you knocked it out of the park, you impressed Mr. Murphy, our exercise science sports rehab instructor at Brush, and he says, yes, I want student A. And then Med Tech says, hey, I like student A as well. And then student A has an opportunity. They go with their first choice or they go with their second choice. They usually take the first choice every time. Then, as a junior, you're going to begin taking classes in Excel Tech, where you'll have classes at your home school at Brush, and then you'll do your career tech at your vocational school. As juniors, you come to school in the morning, and then you go to your program in the afternoon, and it flips as a senior. Sometimes it depends on the program as well. As an Excel Tech individual, there's the various schools: Eastlake, Willoughby, Mayfield, Beechwood, Chagrin Falls, Orange, Brush, all offer programming. Here are the various opportunities for students to participate: auto collision and technology, performing arts, construction, cosmetology, fire EMS, culinary arts, CAD, med tech, LPN, teach, welding, exercise science, and sports rehabilitation. That is one that I would strongly recommend all students if you're looking to go into physical therapy, looking to get into medicine, looking to go into that route. Give it a shot. Talk to Mr. Murphy. Take a look at the facility at Brush. I think you'll love it. At the end of this, when it's all time and ready to graduate, you need, like we said, graduation requirements to be met. You're going to have to earn 20 credits by the end of 2025. You're going to need 40 hours community service. Forms are online, and you can start that in June, day after your last day of 8th grade. And then we have these things called end of course exams. You're going to have to take 2 of them right away your 9th grade and 10th grade year. In 9th grade, you're going to take Algebra 1. In 10th grade, you're going to take ELA 2. Quite frankly, in 10th grade, you're going to take also the U.S. history exam, the biology exam. And if necessary, to improve your score in Algebra 1, you might have to take that as well. But you need to have a total of 18 points or an adequate score based on your 2 end-of-year assessments. So if you score 700 or better, you earned a 3 or higher, you're good to go, and then you get to choose various seals. We'll talk about the seals when you're at the high school next year, and we'll have information for you. If you score 680 or higher, that's an adequate score and you achieve. There are going to be 9 total seals that you can earn from the state. You need to earn 1, and there are a total of 3 local seals where you can earn at least 1. And again, at the end of this, the whole mission of everything you do from this point forward as a second semester 8th grader, prepping to come to the high school as a first-time 9th grader in the fall of 2021, is to graduate in the class of 2025. And you want to make sure you're on target by participating in your courses, staying on top of your courses, and you are excelling and tracking and monitoring your progress. You should all make goals. You should identify at least 3 things that you want to work on each school year. And at the end of high school, what is it you want to achieve? You do all those things, you're going to go through Brush High School with flying colors, and you'll be one happy individual, but not as happy as your parents when it's all said and done. So at this time, we're going to allow you to ask questions. Ms. Johnson will provide the questions if you provide it to her, and she'll read it to me, and then I'll answer it, or she'll answer it herself. If you have a question, you can type it in the text box right here.
Sorry. There's a question. Regarding classes already earned at the junior high. When you said we already can earn credits for Memorial Junior High, so can we already pass 10th grade by the end of, at the start of 9th grade?
So the question is, can you earn enough credits as an 8th grader earning high school for credit classes that you can be identified as a 10th grader going into your 9th grade year. You need a total of 4.5 credits to be identified as a sophomore. You have an opportunity to earn at least a math credit and Algebra 1 for high school credit. You also have the opportunity to earn a physical science for high school credit, world language. So right there's 3. And then between your health and your PE, that's 3.5, maybe 4. So you almost have 10th grade status, but you're still considered a 9th grader until you have that 4.5. If the question is it possible to graduate early and you don't have to be at the high school for 4 years? Is it possible to graduate at the end of your junior year? Yes, that is possible. Currently, this school year, we have 2 juniors that have submitted paperwork and requested to be considered for graduation with the class of 2021. They have met with me. They've met with their counselor. We have completed the paperwork. They have assigned themselves to the classes that they need to do to earn the credit to do such. And they're on track and pace to graduate in June 2021. So yes, it's possible. I wouldn't rush it. Be a kid for a few years.
The
Enjoy
next
being a
question
kid.
asks,
No, it's not easy.
do we provide any leave regarding volunteer hours?
Great question. So in a typical school year, we are hammering out opportunities for kids to earn various hours for community service between our faith-based partners, our school social workers, our school counselors and administrators, and even teachers. There's plenty of opportunities that are shared for students to complete their hours. Because we're in a pandemic, we've had to change some things up. Requirement hasn't been lifted, so it's still an expectation for every kid at the high school to complete 10 hours per school year. But we are asking that they do them safely and that if necessary, we can even do them remotely. So back in October, November, counselors shared a number of remote opportunities for students to complete community service hours. We have students that are doing weekly readings with the pre-K at Roland, as well as kindergartners throughout the district, whether it's Sunview, Roland, Adrian. So they're earning valuable service hours that way. They're also working with students remotely, helping them do tutoring and other stuff. So that's an opportunity. Working at your church, working with the elderly in your neighborhood, as long as you're doing it safely and you're following the 6-foot distancing and washing your hands and wearing a mask, all you need to do is document your hours, complete the form, submit it, have it signed, and we're good to go.
The form can be found on our website. Do you have any advanced classes? What are you doing for the COVID safety?
All right, so advanced classes, at Brush, we offer 14 different advanced placement courses. Students will be able to take their first advanced placement course as a 10th grader by taking AP US History. If they're not in advanced placement, they're going to be taking honors courses, which we offer in all 4 subject areas. So as an incoming 9th grader, you can be in honors world history, honors English 9, honors biology, and then your math class was probably going to be honors geometry, or it could potentially, depending on what you did and the circumstances, could be above that as well, but it's typically honors geometry. So yes, you can take honors classes, and then we encourage students to participate in 2 years. It's not a requirement, but it's strongly encouraged if you plan on going to college or in the military, take 2 years of a world language. In terms of COVID protocols, the building at the high school is large. We have plenty of doors. If you've not been up there, there's 30 some areas where we have doors throughout the building. For COVID, we have identified 2 main door entries, and they are at the beginning of the building, in front, off Glenlyn, Welser gym doors, and then off the back of the building, Barnhurst, we have the ARC Fit doors. Students enter the building, they follow a one-way hallways, they get their temperature symptom checks, they grab a breakfast, follow the one-way hallways, go to their class, eat their breakfast, and then while doing that, they're making sure they're socially distanced, they're making sure they wash their hands, they're making sure they're wearing a mask. And then at the end of the day, they can exit any door, but they must enter the two main doors. In classrooms, we have 6 feet distance protocols that are followed in all classrooms. Right now at the high school, we're scheduled to have approximately 275 kids in the building on any given day. However, it's far less than that. So we're not having any issues with students being within 6 feet in classrooms. And we're not having issues with students not following the protocols of following the one-way hallways and being too close in terms of that as well. So we have sanitization stations. We have masks for students if they don't have their own. We do the symptom temperature check. If a kid has a temperature of 100, we make contact. The student goes home within 30 minutes. And we're making sure that everybody is safe. Students, staff, building. No visitors are allowed in the building. That's the biggest obstacle that we're getting used to. Typically in a high school year, normal year, we have all sorts of folks coming in, going from the high school. You have recruiters for the military, you have vendors, you have colleges coming in to do all their promotions and college fairs. We've had to stop that. Everything's done virtual. So we're going to do virtual college fairs, virtual opportunities for the military to talk to our kids and all those good things. So we're doing a lot of things to prepare to make sure that when you send your child to school, they come home just as safe as they did when they left your house.
Another question, Mr. Williamson, is when did you say that they were going to choose their course selections for 9th grade?
For 9th grade, you're going to choose a March 1 to March 12.
And will there be any sports available or offered? I would assume they mean for next school year.
Yes, at this moment, we are planning to offer a full slate of sports in the fall. And we talked about the fall sports that you can choose from, including cheerleading, volleyball, football, tennis, cross country, soccer, Arquettes. I think those are the big ones in the fall.
Yeah. Do you provide, we get this every year, is transportation provided?
Well, this is a annual question. When it comes to the high school, transportation is not provided. It is not a requirement in the state of Ohio by law. We do not provide transportation for students in the 9th grade through 12th grade. Okay, if there's a student that is on an individualized education plan and it calls for transportation to be provided in their IEP, naturally they're going to be able to get transportation to the school. However, that's far and few between the normality at the high school. Most students either walk or are driven to school by their parents.
The next question is there a maximum amount of volunteer hours that you can earn per year? And the answer is absolutely not.
Correct. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, on average, most of our students graduate with over 40 hours, some of them with over 100 hours. And that is demonstrated through the fact that we also, when we were not virtual, would provide opportunities within the, at Brush High School for students after school. So a lot of our students earn their 40 hours at Brush. They didn't have to go to any outside agency because there were so many opportunities within the Brush High School campus.
A few years ago, we had a student graduate from Brush with over 1,000+ hours of community service. And then we had a young lady surpass his total the following year. So each year at commencement, one of the highlights we like to focus on is the number of hours collectively that the class of 2020 completed, class of 2021. For this group coming in, it'll be the class of 2025. And we break it down, and say, 15 to 20,000 hours collectively as a class is what we typically earn. And we're proud of that because, again, community service is important. Students need to learn the importance of giving back to their community. It builds a little self-respect, pride, plus it gives back to the community. And more importantly, the eyes below the high school, those students at Memorial, Greenview, Adrian, Roland, Sunview, they're watching. And when they see our kids from Brush out in the community, they're role models. And one thing that we're proud of at the high school, we know that when our students leave, that they're doing what they're supposed to, and they're going to reflect that in their behavior in the community. And it's changed over the last several years, and we're excited for what's happening.
Okay, another question is, do you anticipate any sort of orientation so the freshmen can see the new building prior to them arriving in August? Should we have?
Yes, great question. I felt bad for the current ninth graders, the class of 2024. Last December, last school year, we were able to bring the eighth graders up to the high school so they can do a little scavenger of the building, learn the building, see the building. And that was the last time they were able to come into the building until the start of their ninth grade year. So the plan is to offer freshman orientation. We're going to do that in August. That's the plan. We're going to do it whether it's in person or virtually, depending on the pandemic. So yes, you'll be able to come in. In the next week and a half, 2 weeks, rolling out open house tours of the building to show off the brand new construction that is just completed. So that'll be coming to you. I'll make sure that Mr. Bryan has that information so that my eighth grade parents and eighth graders can have opportunity to sign up for a time to do that. The dates that we're doing that have been developed. We're doing a lot of Friday evening, Saturday tours. Tours take about 40 to 45 minutes. We're going to do them in groups of no more than 12. Maybe the largest will be 15, but it'll be socially distanced and safe. And we'll take you around and you can see the building. So yes, we're going to do everything we can to show off our brand new updates of the building, as well as expose you, the incoming class of 2025, to the building, because it can be overwhelming. And we want to make sure you are comfortable and at ease when you come to us for the first time in the fall next August.
Next question is, do you have a cosmetology program? And if so, is it open to freshmen?
Great question. Cosmetology is offered at Mayfield for Brush students. Students in the 10th grade will be exposed to those programming, and they can start that program if they're accepted into COS their junior year. So no, we do not have cosmetology for ninth graders, but we will allow you opportunity to take a look at it as a 10th grader. So you can say, yes, I want to do this. No, I'm not sure I want to do this, or absolutely no, I don't want to do it.
Okay. And then is there transportation provided to Excel Tech programs at different schools?
Great question. Yes. So Excel Tech has a large area we serve. So there is transportation. What's going to happen is if you are an Excel Tech student, you will have to get to the high school for transportation. Now that could be interesting because our first bus rolls out of Brush for Excel Tech as early as 6:15. So you need to be at the high school by 6. So you can catch that bus and you can roll out. The latest the bus comes is for the afternoon is 12:08. I don't know why it's odd like that, but it's 12:08. And then that bus comes back with students at 3:15. So yes, we will provide Excel Tech transportation. It may not always be a South Euclid Lyndhurst bus. It could be once you get from Brush to the hub at Mayfield, you could end up taking a bus from Mayfield to Willoughby Eastlake, and it could be a Beechwood bus. It could be an Aurora bus. We have a system in how we assign buses.
A big question, and Amanda made me laugh. Does the building have air conditioning?
Depends on where you're at in the building. Some of the new parts have air conditioning. So we just had a renovation project in the old wood shop. That's now our innovation lab and the robotics area. That is going to be air conditioned. The media center has new air conditioning, and that's the new East Gym has air conditioning. And there might be a new area that has air conditioning. I think the locker rooms that we just created. In terms of the general building, the A wing, no, we do not, unfortunately. The B wing does not. C wing, D wing, depends, no. But the plan is within the next couple of years, air conditioning will be added to the building. We're going to wait and see how we end up on the list of priorities, because we just had a large chunk of renovations done on our building. I'm thinking that we will not be one of the first schools to receive air conditioning, but who knows? We might be surprised, and Dr. Reed might say, hey, Mr. Williamson, get ready. Your AC's coming to your building next year. We'll see. Ms. Johnson's office is air conditioned, though.
Yes, it is. Thank goodness. I think this is maybe not second to last question. Would you expand or expound on the skills students can earn? So students have an opportunity to earn, as he said, several skills through the state of Ohio. The state of Ohio has provided a new graduation requirement for the class of 2023 and beyond. I'm sure as if I'm having an echo. But the seals we can place on our district website, but just some of the seals include college ready seals, which is basically if you score college ready on a ACT or SAT, then you earn a seal. The military enlistment seal, which is once you enroll or enlist in the military, they provide a seal. The citizenship seal is the seal that they receive, correct, Mr. Williamson, when they take the government test and pass it with the passing score. The science seal is why they take the biology test, even though they may not have to pass it for an EOC for the state of Ohio. They can earn a seal if they pass that. You can also earn an honors diploma seal, the seal of biliteracy, the technology seal, a community service seal would include a local seal, which could be earned, which they have to earn at least one local seal. The fine arts and performing arts seal is also a local seal, and the student engagement seal is a local seal. So they have provided 9 seals for the state of Ohio and 3 seals for the local seals, and the students must earn 1 seal in each of those categories. More information will be shared on our website, and you can also get more information from Ohio Department of Education, but we want it ready for you. And it's a pretty clear document, and it gives you a brief description of what the requirements are regarding seal.
So if I could piggyback real quick, those end of course exams, those are those state tests. We're going to be administering our exams to our students in the month of April. These are important exams. These, moving forward, especially with the current 9th graders on up, and I'm talking up as in your 8th graders, the 7th graders, 6th graders, they have an opportunity to score at least a 680 or higher to earn an adequate score, or a 700 or higher to earn a proficient 3, 4, or 5 that will earn them a seal. This is important because it's a graduation requirement. It's important because this is telling you where your child stands in this particular class versus everybody else in the state of Ohio. So these are important exams. We encourage, when we have these forums each school year, have an opportunity to talk to the 8th graders. I know the 8th grade tests are not considered EOCs, where it's exit exams. They're still important because they tell us information that will allow us to adequately forecast classes for your child. So it's important that your child does the absolute best they can do on every single end of course exam they're taking as an 8th grader, because we're going to take that data and we're going to look and see where we need to put them. And then we're going to gear what we need to do to prepare them for earning their requirements at the high school.
The next question is, what is the start and end time for Brush High School?
In a typical school year, start time is 7:50 to 3:02. This year, because of the pandemic, first class starts at 8:15, last class ends at 1:41. Next year, I'm anticipating maybe a hybrid, so 7:50-ish to somewhere between 3, whether it's a block or whether it's traditional.
How long is the Culinary Arts program?
Culinary Arts program is a 2-year program, 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours every day as a junior, senior. And that program's a little unique because they're a little bit different with their start times for juniors and seniors than other junior programs, senior programs throughout the consortium of Excel Tech. That program's at Beechwood. They do a phenomenal job. If you ever get a chance to go to the bistro over there, Beechwood High School, take advantage of that. They do wonderful things with the students in Excel Tech.
What is offered in regards to pursuing a job in the healthcare industry in terms of curriculum or courses?
So back in 2013-14, Dr. Reed gave the students of SEL a survey, and those results of the survey showed that over 60% of the students had an interest in the medical health career field. With that, ArcFit became a known entity. It went from a dream to a reality. So we have an upper ArcFit, we have a lower ArcFit, and we have a Brush exercise science sports rehab program. So we have a lot of opportunities for students to take advantage if they're thinking about going into the medical field. Between Excel Tech programming of the ESSR program at Brush, Med Tech at Mayfield, LPN at Wilby Eastlake. I apologize, it just left my head for a second. And a couple other programs. You have plenty of opportunities to explore that avenue through Excel Tech. At the high school, between our advanced placement courses, AP Biology, AP Chemistry, Honors Chemistry, Honors Biology, College Credit Plus Biology, which is taught on campus by Mr. James, our very own. So that's huge. So you can have your child come to the Brush. They can earn college and high school credit by taking the CCP course for biology. That will prepare our students if you're interested in going in the medical health fields. So we're excited about that, as well as the world language program. So we have plenty of offerings to challenge you if you're considering that career path.
I believe this is the last question. Do you offer carpentry or plumbing through the Excel Tech program?
Excellent question. So construction trades is offered. That is a program that is done at Mayfield. And they cover all the basic functions of construction. So yes, plumbing is covered, electricity is covered, construction is covered. Last school year was different and difficult because we ended the school year on a pandemic. So the project that the kids were working on did not come to fruition. However, 2 school years ago, the construction trades crew did a phenomenal job of recreating a retail shopping center where they duplicated a mini Golden Gate at their current site, and they had the construction trades folks use that space, build it, construct it, and then other Excel Tech programs, depending on their field, went in and did storefront use of the space that was created. So yes, plenty of opportunities for that as well for our kids.
One more question, I believe. how many electives can you take as a ninth grader?
Well, when we have 8 periods in a day, you're going to have 4 guaranteed core classes: English, math, science, social studies. You're going to have an opportunity to take at least 2, maybe 3 electives, depending. Now, I'm going to tell you a little secret. Miss Johnson comes down to my office all the time at the beginning of the school year and at the midpoint of the school year, saying, Mr. Williamson, I need more electives for 9th graders to get into. So she's always looking to get a kid into an elective. So you have plenty of opportunities, whether it's in music, whether it's in world language, whether it's in health, physical science, education, whether it's in art. You have opportunities, and we're asking that you take advantage of it, especially with the new courses. That comic and graphic novel course, there's a lot of buzz from the teachers in the building, and a lot of our students in grades 9 through 11 are excited about it. In fact, I received an email yesterday from a 12th grader saying that they're, quote, very disappointed that we decided to offer this after they graduate. So they wanted me to know about that as well. If you have a second, I'm gonna show you this video that we wanted to share with you, and it highlights some of the great things that we're doing. And it was supposed to be in the program, but for some reason it didn't come up, but it'll come up now because I'm going to do it the proper way, I think. So hopefully you're able to see this. Ms. Johnson, are you able to see it?
Yes.
All right, so we'll end it on this. to make sure that we get that presentation to you, parents and students. We're proud of our building. We're proud of our programming. We're proud of our students. We have a phenomenal staff. I encourage you to take the time to review the course description book when it is made available. It's going to be coming to you soon. It's a lot of pages. It's a lot of reading, but I guarantee when you put in the time to review the offerings that we have at the high school, you're going to find that there is something for each and every one of our students, and more importantly, your child. At the high school, the staff is dedicated to do what we need to do to make sure that when your child leaves, they're prepared for whatever comes their way once they graduate from Brush. With that said, if you have specific individual questions, please reach out to me. I have an open door policy. Though you might be down at the junior high, you're a future Brush ARC, we're going to take time to answer your question. You want to schedule a face-to-face meeting, we're willing to do that as well. If you want to have a tour of the building, we'll provide that as well, outside of the tours that we're planning for, showing off our brand new state-of-the-art facilities. At the end of this, if you have any issues, please don't hesitate to contact my office. Ms. Johnson will help you as well. Our secretaries are here to help you, and any administrator will be glad to assist as well. With that said, thank you for taking the time. We appreciate you spending just about an hour or so of your busy day learning a little bit more about us and what we have to offer at the high school. Ms. Johnson, you care to say anything?
No, I just wanted to say thank you. And I did include in the chat that the graduation requirements and the hype video will be available to view on our Brush website tomorrow. We apologize for the audio. And again, if you have any questions or concerns, or if you have questions that we did not address today, please feel free to email me or call me, as well as Mrs. Cicero, who you are familiar with. Thank you for your time.